Millions worldwide fell in love with Orange is the New Black, and many were blown away by how effortlessly Laura Prepon became Alex Voss. But what most people don't know is that almost every trauma Alex lived through was pulled straight from Laura's real life. From emotional abuse and manipulation and the constant need to rebel just to breathe freely, Laura wasn't just acting, she was reliving. And just when it seemed like she had finally found peace, her future once again hangs in the balance. What is it really like to be Laura Prepon? Let's uncover the side of her story the world never saw, while showing you some of her rare photos. As the youngest of 5 children in a stable Catholic household in New Jersey, Laura, born on March 7, 1980, was also the last daughter of Michael Prepon, a respected orthopedic surgeon she deeply admired, and her mother, Marjorie, a former model who later became a teacher. From the outside, Laura's wealthy family seemed perfect, but on the inside, the home often felt like a ghost town. Her father was rarely around, and her mother remained emotionally distant. However, despite her dad's busy schedule, he still found a way to find little time to bond with his children. But that changed in 1995, when Laura was just 13. Michael died during heart surgery. Not only did his passing shatter her emotionally, but it also marked the beginning of her decades-long physical trauma. Her mother instantly grew harder and colder. Through the whole grieving period, Marjorie gave her children no hugs, or even bothered to ask if they were okay. Instead, she became really authoritarian and brutally strict, without being physical. It was as if no one could stop her from lashing out. Laura's only escape from her mother's hawk eyes was school, but at 15, she had to drop out and enroll in acting classes in New York City. Her mother wanted her to follow her path and become a model, even though that was not what Laura wanted. So at 15, she was already modeling in Paris and Milan to survive. Laura had to live out of suitcases like an orphan in a foreign country. At times, she didn't even know where she'd sleep. With time, she learned how to be invisible just to protect herself. What made those years even more painful was that her mother had manipulated her into thinking that there was nothing wrong with the treatment that she was getting, and that she was the problem for being too lazy. Marjorie also began making comments about Laura's weight. She became so obsessed with the teenager's weight and appearance that she instructed and taught her how to restrict food, and worse, taught her how to throw it up. Over time, Laura began to realize that her mother wasn't supportive. She was controlling and making her live the life she wanted, making her hate modeling. So by the time she turned 18, she decided to take her life into her own hands and then sent an audition tape for a new sitcom on Fox, even though she had never acted professionally before. It was just a leap of faith, and she was not expecting anything. But to Laura's surprise, against all odds, she got the role. She became Donna Pinciotti on that 70s show. It felt like a fresh start for her, a chance to live her life on her terms. But unknown to her, her childhood trauma had deeper roots than she had thought. Laura immediately felt isolated in Hollywood. Her fame was fast and huge, and since she didn't want to be seen as weak, she kept to herself, secretly battled the bulimia, and wore the perfect smile in front of cameras. In 1999, she began dating Christopher Masterson, and for the first time in her life, she had someone who paid attention to her. He became her only source of stability, and since he was also a committed Scientologist, Laura, who had never been religious, was slowly pulled into the community. By the early 2000s, Laura began to notice the typecast that was being set on her. Even though she won Teen Choice Awards, appeared in MTV Cribs, and was named one of Maxim's Hot 100, she remained Donna to everyone. So in 2004, she made her boldest move yet. Laura executive produced and starred in her project, Lightning Bug. Still, the movies barely impacted her image, so in 2006 she gave it another shot, but took on the darkest role of her life, playing Carla Homolka in the film Carla. The movie wasn't a blockbuster, but got her the attention she wanted. That same year, she stepped behind the camera as an executive producer for Hollywood Hold'em, a celebrity poker show, and even bagged a role on October Road in 2007. This was her most human role to date, and fans connected hard, but the network didn't. Despite strong ratings and a massive fan campaign, ABC pulled the plug on the show the following year. Laura's relationship with Christopher had taken on a different dynamic during all these phases. She had become so dependent on him that when she woke up and tried to discover her path as an actress and a person, it caused a rift in the relationship. And by 2007, they were on different paths. The duo quietly broke up, avoiding media attention. But for Laura, it felt like she had lost her ground. After nearly a decade, she faced life without her emotional safety net. However, her push to want something different was not unfounded because her world on that 70s show had also changed that year. Ashton Kutcher's fame exploded, Topher Grace was eyeing movie deals, and everyone saw the once tight-knit cast growing apart. So doing nothing to beat the typecast meant the end of her career. Unfortunately for her, she only took minor roles in shows like How I Met Your Mother, House, and In Plain Sight in the following years. None were big career moves, but it gave her the break to face the truth that she had long tried to ignore. Her eating problem. Laura began going for therapy, exercising, cooking, journaling, and even enrolled in directing classes just to feel alive. It was around this time that she met Scott Michael Foster. He was younger, and his private life gave her the perfect environment that she needed to heal fully. For the first time in years, no scripts were tying her down and no image to uphold. And then, in 2012, something entirely different came knocking. Laura was cast as Alex Vowes in Orange is the New Black. The show premiered in July 2013, and not only did it succeed, but it also exploded. Things were finally going her way, but as in her previous relationship, the chaos that came with change was too much for Scott, so they went their separate ways. Torn between enjoying the moment and being shattered about the failure of another relationship, she started drafting The Stash Plan, a book that is part memoir and part healing guide. Laura also leaned deeper into Scientology, and as expected, her newly formed fan base was against it and criticized her hard. Even though she never became a loud voice for the church, the fans were so unforgiving that it began to open scars from her childhood trauma, years of being suppressed by people who wanted to tell her how to live her life. After a while, she slowly distanced herself from the church and would only appear in 4 episodes of season 2. Then, many realized their comments had impacted her, and they feared that her chapter in the series was close. Still, by season 3, Laura made a spectacular comeback. This time not only as an actor, but as a director, but she would not direct her first episode until season 5. Despite being reserved, she still made friends on rare occasions. One of those friends was Ben Foster, whom she had known for years, but in early 2016, that friendship turned to love. With Ben, everything felt different, and she was so sure that he was the right one for her that they got engaged in October 2016, just a few months into dating. In August the following year, Laura gave birth to their daughter. Motherhood brought out the part of her that she had never thought she had. She wanted to be present in her daughter's life and not repeat the same mistakes as her mother did with her. But Hollywood didn't pause, so just 6 weeks after giving birth, Laura was back on set filming Orange is the New Black. Between takes, she pumped breast milk and fought postpartum depression. Still, she was determined not to vanish into motherhood or let her career slip away. In 2018, while pregnant again, Laura and Ben were hit with devastating news. Their unborn child had cystic hygroma, a fatal chromosomal issue. The doctors were sure that the baby wouldn't survive, and that Laura's life was now at risk too. She was forced to make a decision that no mother wants to. They had to terminate the pregnancy. In just a very short amount of time, he had felt extreme joy and profound sadness as a mother. Just weeks later, in June 2018, Laura and Ben married quietly. After 7 seasons, Laura lost her escape and therapy when Orange is the New Black ended in 2019. It was a bittersweet moment that did not last because in early 2020, she gave birth to their second child, a son. After the previous loss, this pregnancy had her frightened. She took the experience and turned it into a book, You and I as Mothers, and in this book that she revealed her darkest truth for the first time. My mother taught me how to be bulimic. She also confirmed that she had also left Scientology, And for the rest of the year, Laura stepped away from the camera to focus on her slow mornings, cooking with her kids, journaling, and healing. It was indeed the perfect life that many who were aware of her struggles would have wished for her. But in September 2024, fans were left stunned when news hit that Laura and Ben had separated. After over 6 years of marriage and 2 children, their fairy tale love had become sour. By November, Ben had filed for divorce in Tennessee, citing irreconcilable differences. At first, it looked civil and respectful, but that peace didn't last, and the case soon turned public. Ben decided not to sugarcoat what was happening, and in March 2025, court filings revealed that he amended his filings to accuse Laura of inappropriate marital conduct. In response, Laura accused him of the same, and added that he was a habitual drunk. After the first time in over 2 decades, 45-year-old Laura, who had always kept her personal life private, will publicly be confrontational. She asked the court for primary custody of her children, citing misconduct and her need to give her kids the emotional stability she never had as a child. Ben, who was not ready to back down, also asked for joint custody, and the once blissful marriage soon turned into a battleground as both sides hired strong legal teams. By April, they had settled. Laura was granted primary residential custody. The children would spend 227 days per year with her and 138 with Ben. Ben also agreed to pay $5,500 a month in child support. And the house they had once called home, which was listed at just under $4 million, would be sold. Laura would receive $978,000 up front. Then the rest would be split. Neither would pay spousal support, and both kept their businesses. If you enjoyed this video, there's a good chance you'll enjoy the one showing on your screen right now. Click, enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. See you on the next one.